Hi, so I wanted to begin this rebuttal by first saying that we definitely agree that any social media company's primary incentive is going to be, of course, profit. It's a business, that's what businesses do. They try to make money. So, as a result of this, we think that it makes sense to work within this existing system rather than trying to impose some secondary motivation of political neutrality on top of these already existing companies. So, for example, your first proposal, which was to treat social media companies as a fiduciary, so that's something like a doctor or a lawyer. Um, I think immediately this requires that we really change the definition of what a social media company is. So, a doctor and lawyer, this is an individual. This is someone who is expected to have some level of altruism, um, some level of a desire to work for the public good, which is reflected in things like the Hippocratic Oath. Um, Whereas, again, any social media company is going to be working towards profit and profit alone. This is a major corporation with thousands of employees. So to try to impose some specific moral on this entire corporation is going to be a very difficult thing to do. And then, as for your second proposal, which is the establishment of a quasi public government agency, so right off the bat, this begs the question of who's going to pay for this, which the only answer is the taxpayers. So that is going to be a really difficult thing to sell to the public because you're taking a job that was already being performed by social media companies, by private companies, and now you're putting this financial burden on the general public. So that's going to be a very difficult thing to gain support for. Um, and then also, it doesn't answer the question of, which is the difficult question in this debate, is how do you define neutrality? Because to enforce neutrality, you have to have a very clear definition. So it's leaving the job of defining neutrality entirely in the hands of the government. And this is going to potentially create many dangerous incentives for this agency, such as the desire to censor anti government sentiment, which is sort of at the heart of what social media is ideally supposed to be, a place to freely express and debate ideas. And then the major problem with both of these proposals is that ultimately they infringe on the First Amendment, which protects a citizen's ability to um, express ideas freely, other than some very basic cases of libel or slander. So I think this really clearly leaves us with the singular option of leaving any moderation that we think is necessary as a responsibility of private entities. And in this case, that's going to leave either a third party independent company or the actual social media companies themselves. So, in summary, any proposal for the government enforcement of political neutrality is going to require a very clear technique on both how to define neutrality and how to hold companies accountable for maintaining standards of neutrality. And this still leaves us with the very significant problem of the basic infringement on free speech that would come as a result of this.